Hello, hello. Hi,
Hello. Woohoo.
saludos, everybody. I wanted to make a quick mention. I want to thank our sponsors, which is Stars in Mission, 815 East 9th Street. They have the $5 burger combo. You're not going to find that anywhere, and they are delicious. They have the best onion rings in the world. So thank you to my sister over there at Stars in Mission. And of course, also to Henry's Beauty Products, because they provide really special service to a lot of us girls that don't like to do our hair. So go out and check them out over there at Henry's downtown McAllen. I want to thank the beautiful staff, Claudia, out there. They are awesome. Norma, today is not Sunday for us. We are pre-recording this. So if you're watching this on Sunday, we are not actually live. We are recording this because we're probably the patas de perro over there at Fanfare on Sunday. So
There we are.
live on Sunday. We're recording today. And so just want to let you know the comments are live. We are the comments are gonna be live. You can all saludos y todo eso. I'm just not going to be able to see them and put them on. So, but I want to thank everybody for coming in. Of course, thank La Jefa Jaminoldis for simulcasting us, Sirius Tejano for simulcasting us, Tejano TV, over 5 million viewers. Thank you for also having our own channel on the Roku channel with Tejano TV, which is Giras y Desveladas. Thank you, everybody that supports us. And of course, to the truckers that are listening out there that said that we look forward to every Sunday, 2 o'clock, to hear Gigi and Norma. So, saludos, besos, besos to everybody. Norma, talk to me before I go to our Truckin On with New Rolas.
Well, hey, everybody. I hope we see you at Fanfare. And, well, it's going to be a couple days after Fanfare. So hopefully that you guys all came out and hear some good music. I hope you enjoy yourselves and have a great time and meet and greet us, because we're really excited to meet you all.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Look, I did a little promo. Watch it.
75 plus live performances on 3 stages, plus artist meet and greets, beverage, food, and vendor booths. This is a free event, fun for the whole family. For more information, please email BinoG@TejanoMusicAwards.com.
Right, see you there. Si Dios quiere, it'll be fine, and we'll be over there. All right, so let's get to the Truckin On with New Rolas. We've got a new rola by this guy who sent us his video. Watchalo, check it out.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Danny Ortiz. How's everybody doing out there? I'm right here with Giras y Desveladas. My new song is called Olvídalo. Right here, Truckin On with the new Rolas. Keep it going, keep listening, request a song. Everybody enjoy. I love you all. We'll see you all soon. Danny Ortiz, Olvídalo, baby. Mi amor, hallaste solo mi adiós, olvídalo.
Ooh, thank you for that, Danny. And let's watch his video. And of course, anybody other artists, if you want to showcase your new release here on Giras y Desveladas, send us a video like that, and we will put it on here. Let's watch Olvídalo by Danny Ortiz.
No debes de tener ninguna razón de preguntarme cómo sigo desde que te alejaste sin decirme un adiós. Y confundido yo buscaba la razón. si era culpa mía o tontería de mujer. Sabías que te amaba y hoy quieres volver. Olvídalo, no busques mi calor. Hoy yo me burlo al pensar que quieres volver a mi lugar. Olvídalo, es lo que hice yo. Y ahora que buscas mi amor, hallaste solo mi adiós. Olvídalo. Al pasar el tiempo realicé la realidad. En cada paso fui dejándote atrás. En el olvidar a nunca regresar. Y ahí de lejos no me puedes lastimar. Y volaré a otro nido a descubrir el amor que nunca podías dar. Olvídalo, no busques mi calor. Hoy yo me burlo al pensar que quieres volver a mi lugar. Olvídalo, es lo que hice yo. Y ahora que buscas mi amor, hallaste solo mi adiós. Olvídalo, no busques mi calor. Hoy yo me burlo al pensar que quieres volver a mi lugar. Olvídalo, es lo que hice yo. Y ahora que buscas mi amor, hallaste solo mi adiós. Olvídalo.
Wow, that was
That song.
right?
Ooh.
Olvídalo. Hey, what if she realized she made a mistake? I mean, asking for a friend. I don't know, Dale chanza. Great song, Danny. Awesome. All right, now we got this other papazote. Watch this guy.
Saludos mi raza, de parte de su amigo Anthony Quintanilla de Potente. You are watching Giras y Desveladas with Gigi and Norma. Ladies and gentlemen, Potente's got a new single out, available on all digital platforms. Our new video should be dropping in the next 30 to 45 days. So for your listening pleasures, ladies and gentlemen, aquí está el nuevo sencillo de Potente, Amigo Mío, right here on Truckin On with New ROLAS.
Trucking On with ROLAS, and that is dedicated to all our truckers that are out there listening, who said we can't wait till Sundays to hear Gigi and Norma. Thank you so much.
We love you all.
Yes, saludos para todos. And be careful out there, mucho cuidadito. Let's listen to Grupo Potente's new Rola.
Te lo merezcas, lástima que no regresas, amigo mío. amigo mío, ¿qué es lo que te pasa? Se ve que estás muy triste, abandonado. Sé que has sufrido mucho y no lo mereciste. Ese camino lo aceptaste por tu propia voluntad. Tienes que olvidarlo, amigo mío. Olvida el pasado y ese castigo, amigo mío. ¿Cómo hacer que comprendas que han pasado muchos años y ha pasado mucho daño? Pero quiero que tú sepas, soy tu mejor amigo. Aunque no te lo merezcas, lástima que no regresas, amigo mío. Tienes que olvidarlo, amigo mío. Olvida el pasado y ese castigo, amigo mío. ¿Cómo hacer que comprendas que han pasado muchos años y ha pasado mucho daño? Pero quiero que tú sepas, soy tu mejor amigo. Aunque no te lo merezcas, lástima que no regresas, amigo mío.
Woo! And that was our friend Anthony Quintanilla from Grupo Amigo Mío. Thank you guys so much. Saludos again, dedicated to all our truckers that are listening out there. Para mi tío Pablo Ruiz de La Joya, Texas, que en paz descanse, que era troquero toda su vida. Mis primitos que andan de troqueros todavía, and everybody out there. Saludos. All right, Norma, this is a special show, not only because we're recording it, but it's special because we're actually, as podcasters, are going to interview other podcasters.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is sweet. And we were actually already interviewed by them. You were supposed to be there. I think there was technical difficulties, technically. Yep. But yeah, so we have on our stage today. Let me see if they're here. A ver. Vamos a ver.
I'm here.
You're here? A ver.
Where are you?
Camera am I?
You're in audio only. So
I know, but which one is?
Turn on your camera.
I'm trying here.
And also Brenda went to connect her. There you are. And then Brenda went to connect her phone and she's not on. Technical difficulties. Welcome. Oh, you're out again. Audio only, Jason. There's Brenda. Saludos.
Hello.
Hi,
Now
Brenda.
it's everybody.
All right. Woo.
There's no technical difficulty here.
That's my middle name. All right. Saludos to Latin Legends podcast with Jason and Brenda. So, you know what? First of all, I want to thank you all for having us on your show sometime back. We really appreciate it. And
Yes,
that's
we
because
did.
I think that is how we, as a community of podcasters, especially of Tejano, we get this to grow by being on each other's podcast, by supporting each other, by sharing our stuff. And that's how we get to grow because that's the only way we're going to get out there. So, first of all, thank you so much for having us on your show to begin with.
Yes.
No
So,
problem. No problem.
yes. So, everybody, welcome to the stage, Jason and Brenda. Talk to us.
Thank
Well,
you. Thank you so much. Go,
yeah.
Jason. You go
Thank
first.
you. Thank you. And once again, you know, I kind of wanted to come here as well to, I know not a lot of artists do the TikTok world. They do the Facebook world. So just to let them know, that we are on TikTok. We don't go live on Facebook. When we finish recording live, I post the actual interview on our YouTube, which is Latin Legends podcast on YouTube. And my podcast is I've told y'all before. It's inspired by Jesse Perales from the that was with La Mafia for 13 years. Um, a fun fact that I didn't even know until Jesse told me himself. He wasn't discovered by La Mafia or anybody from La Mafia. He was actually discovered by Josefa, and he was in that hit record that Josefa had. And ¿Por qué te vas? No seas así. That's Josefa. And so he was in that recording. I never knew that. And Jesse goes, yeah, it was him. He goes, Josefa, took me on the road. And then a little after that, he says that La Mafia got a whiff of him and they asked him to come to La Mafia. And that's how that happened. And, but yeah, that's a fun fact. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that. So, Jesse, que paz descanse, he told me. And, yeah, so that, just want to let all the artists know that, what we do is we give everybody their flowers. It doesn't matter if you were the front man, the roadie, the tech, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you put time into our culture, he wanted everybody to get the thank yous y las gracias for the time that they put into our culture.
Yes. Amen. That's a blessing in disguise. They do have to be now acknowledged as much as any one of us, anybody that like sings, there's dancers, whatever.
Right.
I mean, they
Exactly.
do hard work as well. So
Yeah, because
that's very good.
they no, just not just the front man, but remember the band itself. They also miss birthdays, weddings. I mean, you name
Mhm.
it. They also were part of that. Especially if they were around in the 80s and 90s. And
So
so,
how did you get started from all this besides Jesse?
okay, so I was in a whole different podcast that's still running today. Um, and I came in as like a second, third co-host, I guess you could say. So my take on that, like, I had never done this before, so I had to find my place in that podcast. So the host wanted to push out the new artists, and which is fine. I have nothing against it. We interview new artists all the time. Um, so she, okay, well, the host actually covered that part as far as that. But then I felt, you know what? They also got to know the history, where it came from. And so that was my place in that podcast. I guess to make the story a lot shorter and more condensed about it, there was a lot of head bumping between the host and and so it just, one day it was the straw that broke the camel's back. I knew I was on my way out. I get fired from there. So, and then in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? This is not for me. one of the audience that was actually watching the show when I was there, his name is Jacob Cerda. He is cousins with Jesse Perales. So one day he reaches out to me on TikTok and tells me, man, you need to have your own show. What are you talking about? And he goes, no, you need to have your own show. You know what you're talking about. And, da, 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 da. All right, whatever. He goes, Jesse Perales is my cousin. And I go, no, he's not. And he's all like, no, for real, it is. No, it's not. Whatever. Next day, he calls me again, and he's with that idea about starting a podcast. And I'm like, bro, like, I just got out of one. I'm not looking to get into another one. He goes, no, you're gonna be the only one, and da 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 da. Jesse's on the line, and Jesse was there on the line, and he talked to me.
Wow.
He's all like, hey man, this is what I kind of want to do, but due to the fact that he was going through dialysis 3 times a week, couldn't do it. He didn't have the energy. He goes, so I want to know. He goes, I kind of want to like interview you over the phone to see what you know about our culture. He goes, I'm going to call you Christmas Day. And this is Christmas Day 2024. Yeah. He calls me at 10 a.m. on the dot, and I answer. He goes, okay, tell me what you know. 2 hours later, he goes, okay, that's everything? And I go, yeah, that's all I know. All right, you're going to be the host of Latin Legends, okay? He goes, and he just hung up. That's it. Right? And I'm like, no bye, no nothing. Like, just, okay, you're going to be the host of Latin Legends. That's it. And I'm like, what the heck? What just happened? His cousin calls me. He goes, hey, man, so he came up with the name. So this is what we want to do. And he goes, let's come up with the logo, you and I. Okay. So we came up with the logo, which is, it's the gold record with the saxophone in the front. Me personally, I like the sax that's used in Tejano.
Yes.
Mind you, that whole time that me and Jacob were trying to figure out the logo, when it's all said and done, he tells me, hey, look at the logo. And I go, I'm looking at it. What do you notice? I'm there and I'm just looking at it. I don't know, nothing. I mean, it's just the saxophone. Jesse Perales plays the saxophone, bro. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And, that's just coincidence,
Wow.
It wasn't because of Jesse. No, it was because I like the saxophone that's used in Tejano, personally. So,
How crazy is that?
yeah. And fast forward to January 7th of 2025. Yes, 25. Jesse Perales was supposed to be my the first person I interview. He didn't have enough followers to come up in the box. So we rescheduled him for March, late March. I choke up every time because Jesse never made it to March. And so, he never made it to March. And the day that he passed, that morning, he called. And he tells me, I need to talk to you, but I'm going to the hospital first. I'll be out tomorrow. I go, okay. Jesse never came home after that.
Oh.
Que en paz descanse.
Yeah. And so I've had a few people ask me, how long are you going to keep up with this? I go, I don't know. I go, because I'm not going to lie to you, ladies. I've been wanting to stop for a long time.
Wait, you're a man and you're not going to lie to us? Just kidding. Don't listen to DJ. It's
No, I've wanted to stop and quit a few times, more than a few. But the problem is that every time that I do, I don't want to disappoint Jesse. I'm like, when is it enough? Yeah. So I have to run with this till the wheels fall off practically. So that's why, we're still running. And I'm glad that for our fans that still show up week in and week out. It started off once a week the first year. Once a week. Then it went to twice a week. Then it went to 3 times a week, 4 times a week.
Oh,
Sometimes,
heck no.
sometimes, sometimes Monday through Friday.
Oh, my
I've
God.
even had a few Saturdays here and there. And I think, I was burned out. I was burned out after 8 months.
Yeah.
But because I don't want to disappoint Jesse.
Wow.
And I've had a few people that been part of Latin Legends that encouraged me not to stop, keep going. Um, what comes with the good comes bad stuff too.
Oh, yes. Most
And
definitely.
talks. Sometimes a lot of it is just BS. Um, but anyways, besides
I
that
think we
point,
expose ourselves as being, in the public eye. We expose ourselves to that, Tienes que
right?
ponerte concha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so um, we got nominated for Podcast of the Year in the Guadalupe Awards. We made the top 5. Just to be nominated with the heavy hitters, Rock and Roll James, Bumper Gomez,
Yeah.
and that other man. I think his last name is Leal.
Keith Lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, him too. Just to be mentioned with those podcasters. That to me, that's more than enough.
Yeah, that's
Um,
when you know you're doing something right. You're
yeah,
going the right way.
Yes.
and so like I said, I don't know when it's gonna be enough. Like I said, to me, it's gonna be till the wheels fall off. Till like there's nobody in my show no more. When people stop going to the show, that's probably when I'll stop. But my dad's one of those. My dad's gonna be there, so I'm still gonna probably have to still do it, even if my dad's the only one there.
There's diehards out there, and so they'll still be there because
Yeah,
there's some
absolutely,
diehard Tejanos.
absolutely. And so, um, I wanted to just also mention, I've had, like I said, I've had a few co-hosts here and there. Um, the way I want to just put it out there is like the reason why I have to switch sometimes is because the fit just is not there. But at that specific time when they came in, that the fit for what they had going on or the way they were doing it, they fit to what I was trying to do.
Yeah, it
Right?
comes with the season. It's a
Yes,
season.
yes, absolutely. So when I let them
You're
know,
not
look,
seasonal, Norma. Be quiet. You're forever.
and that's totally fine as well. That's totally fine as well, But when I start to tell them, look, okay, so now we did this, now we're gonna do something like this, and I look at them and I see that they at least try. They try, and you can tell it's a little difficult for them. So it starts to be stressful for them. So now they're not who I thought they were, right? And so I let them know, you know what? I got to go a whole different direction with this because it's just where I'm going with this. And a lot of them do get upset. Nothing to take away from what they brought to the table at the time. I'm always going to be grateful for them for that. And I know Jesse would too. Um, some of them didn't hold grudges. Some of them did till today. Um, and so when I made this recent one, I had interviewed Brenda here. And there was just something when I was interviewing Brenda, there was just something about her that I was like, I think she can do this, where I'm trying to go with this. And it's perfect. I haven't found anybody else quite as good as Brenda right now. So I think Brenda's right on the money. She just, it's all natural to her because she's an artist. And that's where I was going with this. Someone that can relate to the artist.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now with that.
Oh, Brenda, you're bringing that tamales already made. We know.
Well, you know what? When Jason called me about joining his podcast, I was like, wow, honored that he thought of me, right? And I was managing a podcast at that time. So that's kind of how we met, didn't we, Jason?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So then I was like, you know what? Let me think about it because I'm passionate and committed to what I do, and I don't want to give halfway, you know, my all. I give my all to what I do, and so I was just trying to make sure I was coordinating, my week correctly and stuff like that. And then I joined, and it's been such a pleasure. Um, I have a background of more mariachi, norteño, cumbia, and I've been learning a whole lot with Jason, and the guests that we have, and of course, I'm Tejano too, but just the history of Tejano and what we talk about in the podcast and how there's one thing I'm going to say that may sound harsh, but I really don't think there's another genre like Tejano artists in the fact that they're pushing their music. Like they want their genre to stay alive, and
Yeah.
they want, so I admire so much that from all Tejano lovers, that, and musicians and singers and all of that, because I feel like, my hat's off. You guys that are passionate about Tejano, and now I'm becoming passionate about Tejano, is like, it's it's Tejano's been put down a lot, in the last
It
years,
has. It has.
and it has not received the recognition that it deserves, right? And now that I know more of the history, it's like wow, like there's so much of our culture in that Tejano genre that needs to be exposed. Artists need to be known. Music needs to continue, and grow. And I'm just very excited to be part of this podcast and in music in general. And what he was saying is like, sometimes I get too excited. We have girls or women that are composers, singers, and I take over, and I'm then like, okay, Jason, you take it.
No, no,
um
that's what I like about her, that she can like just take the wheel and drive, and I just sit and watch her. Let's see where she's going with it, so I can, kind of when she's ready to pass it to me, I can meet her right there.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are learning from each other. You guys
Hmm.
bounce just like what we do here, me and Gigi. I mean, there's things that I don't know about the Tejano music that she breathes, she eats, she dreams, everything because she's been brought up that way.
Right.
Me, I was brought up just listening to it, being a fan, knowing that what I love or what I love to hear and what I don't like or what could change, what could come about if you did it this other way. So many different aspects that come into play, and that's what makes a good team. You bounce off each other. There's no envy, no nothing, and
Hmm.
that's what's clear teamwork.
Right.
Clearly, if you don't have that, then you're really not getting anywhere.
Right.
You're going to be in that hole of not learning, and learning from someone else that might have a little bit more knowledge, and don't hate about it. You're
Hmm.
learning, dang it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're learning. And
Absolutely.
so, I mean,
Humility, the humility to have to say, you know what, he's better than at this than me. and
yes.
and I think, that is so important in our industry, in the music industry, and even as podcasters, and everything that we do towards that gears towards music. I believe that it's so refreshing when you hang around with people that genuinely support each other, that there's no envy, that there's this just, let's get better together. But and we really like complement each other in the areas like you were saying. I When it comes to mariachi, when it comes to writing, when it comes to the artist, and the difficulties of the road, and sometimes not getting paid enough, and not I relate to the artist, so that's why. Yeah, that's why,
That's what.
sometimes we're talking about it, and I'm like, hey, not about this, about that. So, I have a lot of fun during this, because I love, 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 love people, and I love to hear their stories, because we all have stories,
Yeah.
and we all came from different backgrounds, and we share one thing in common, and is the love for music. And Jason, he may not be an artist, or what have you, or performing right now. Maybe one day he will release a song. We don't know.
Se va a
but at,
animar.
I know. But at the end of the day, he's a music lover. And he loves Tejano, and he brings that to the table, which is, he has a lot of history. Like, sometimes he's throwing dates and names and albums of 19 whatever, and I'm like, I don't even remember what I ate yesterday.
Well,
Yeah,
it's good to you know have that that hunger for the history of Hispanics,
Hmm.
Latinos, mainly. I mean, right now we're going through a generation that our kids are wanting to know more about us now,
Yeah.
because
Right.
we're going through a kind of revolving into something that we don't even understand ourselves.
Hmm.
Um, and we have to be proud of who we are. I mean, we shouldn't be ashamed of who we are,
Hmm.
because
for
we
sure.
are hard workers, man,
Right.
and we give our all, and we're so, I could say we are loyal.
Hmm.
We are loyal people, and we love our family unconditionally. And man, being poor, I mean, I know being poor, and you had your grandma make the tortillas and frijolitos, that's all she could afford. That was good enough, because she was making it with love, with
Right.
all that music in the background.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm. Yep.
your abuelitas and everything, they did it all with love and a little bit of music to get some joy out of life. Hey, bring it to the table.
Yeah,
Right. And then
absolutely.
one thing I was gonna mention is that lately, Jason and I, we have been having some artists from Monterrey, Mexico, that area, and I myself, I'm very impressed on how they have embraced the Tejano culture. You know,
Yes.
Yeah.
and I am very proud of that, because I think, Tejano is Texas, and the fact that they take Tejano, embrace it, and they make it grow in their own area, in Mexico and wherever they're at. I think it's really, really amazing.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I mean, look at the bands like, and I could give you an example. Uh, La Raza de Monterrey.
Hmm.
They are, man, learning every song. Mafia, Mas, J Perez, all these musics, because they love the passion of how we bring it and we change it.
Hmm.
Change the vibe in the music, the tempo, everything. I mean, it is, and they're so. How it's funny how I met them. Well, literally, I haven't met them in person, but I will, because we have already talked. We're in talks of meeting up with each other in San Antonio. But when I come from Michigan, so I live over here, to see how unidos they are, that they're so giving to each other, and they don't how can I, to not get anybody offended. They're not boastful. Oh, like, oh, I know how to sing, but you don't. So let me sing. Move out of the
Yeah.
way. They were so honest of being so humble with each other that that's what made me fall in love with them as a group.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
it showed me ay, ay, ay. It showed somebody's trying to call me on my other phone. It Marty, I'll call you later. Get
ay,
to the
Mari.
bone.
Saludos.
um so it's so crazy to see that, like, they are in a different area. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know how these bands play over here on this side of Texas, or some of them have been playing with some bands from Texas, that they don't see that camaraderie.
Mm.
Like, they're always, and I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real because this is just how I am. There shouldn't be jealousy
Nah.
in a band, for the reason that everybody brings something different to the table. Nobody can write the same letter and it's going to be the same way. Everybody has a different idea of how they're going to bring their style to the table.
You
That's
know what?
correct.
In that respect, Norma, and I just realized, wow, I'm not interrupting you, but there's no live, there's no live comments to get to. So if you're commenting, I'm not
Save
getting
it
to. I know.
for later.
By the same token, I think that's the same thing with podcasts, right? Everybody has their own thing. There's no reason to be, like, I no. Everybody's got their own style. Everybody's got their own way of introducing things, their own way of doing their podcast. The fact is, you're pushing the music, and that's the important part. You're pushing the genre. You're
La
pushing
raza.
our heritage. Y eso es lo importante,
Pick it up,
Mm-hmm.
pick it up, pick it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, and even like you said, like the Raza de Monterrey, they're doing something beautiful. They're bridging us. They're bridging los Tejanos con los de Monterrey, Mexico, and that's a beautiful thing. So I think that that's something to be said for respecting everybody's individuality. You guys are on TikTok. Me and Norma don't know crap about TikTok. I think for the older generation,
Jason knows that.
yeah,
Jason knows it.
man, I'm like, no, TikTok, look, this TikTok, Instagram, that's the, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to us, as the Facebook está un poquito más seguro for us, for us older folks, which comes to
Yes.
our next question that I have for you guys. Considering that you all are so young, uh, going into Latin Legends podcast, I love the fact that you all are a younger generation and that you are interested in it, porque eso es lo que se necesita hacer to kind of bridge that gap that's really missing in our people. They kind of missed the gap. They went from Selena to Peso Pluma and Frontera.
Yes.
Right.
There's nothing in between, and there was nothing before, as far as they're concerned. And so I think you, with your podcast, us with our podcast, we're trying to kind of bridge that gap. Y también, pues, there's new artists there. I believe the music has to evolve. You have to add the new artists that are doing new and different things, because that's how we're going to grow. It's like I mentioned on our last podcast. I mean, rock and roll didn't stay the same. If it stayed the same, then everybody would be playing like Buddy Holly,
Right.
and there would be no Nirvana, and there would be no other stuff in anything after that. There'd be nothing different. It'd all be the same. So it has to evolve, igual que la música de nosotros tiene que evolucionar, y así, en esa manera, a involucrar a más de la gente del género más joven que nosotros.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you guys bring another element to the genre, for the reason that, man, if it wasn't for you guys' knowing technology, we wouldn't be in this situation of doing podcasts at
Yeah.
all. I
And
mean,
that's one thing for sure that I wanted also to bring to the table that I did not bring when I was at the first podcast. Um, there's a lot of artists here in our culture that's actually written music for the big names that we know today.
yep.
and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
You know,
They're they're
one
they're like
one
diamond in the rough.
right,
You
and the one that comes to mind right off the bat is Samuel Ramos. Samuel Ramos y los Tesoros. Y'all remember them?
somewhat, yeah.
Samuel Ramos, he wrote two songs for David Lee Garza that actually made the album, the 1392 album, which is, excuse me, it's considered a David Lee's 1392 album. And Con el Tiempo, Jay Perez was the frontman for both albums. Those two albums are considered by La Raza the best albums in Tejano, period. Like,
Yeah.
period. Right there, those two. And Mr. Samuel Ramos has two songs that made those albums.
Wow.
And we
Well,
all love to hear them.
that's the fact that the fact that the authors, writers, creators, as Brenda well knows, don't necessarily get recognized for whatever an artist does with their song. If it shoots off, like for example, Ya Te Vi, my dad's song, he wrote it.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Ramona Ayala recorded it. Elsa heard it. She said, "Hey, I like it." She recorded it too. Becomes this ginormous hit. Does anybody know Juan Guerrero wrote it? Unless when Gigi started talking about it.
Right.
Other than that, no. So that in itself needs to be a kind of recognition, and maybe we should have a show. I think have we done a show, Norma, of writers? We do different shows. We've done different shows. Nos falta eso entonces.
No, because we were talking about it, but we hadn't done it.
Right.
Because
When
I'm gonna give you an example, and maybe this is the reason why. Like George, he's written songs, only one song, which is my song, Chiquilla. But the other songs, it was written by someone else, and George always gives knowledge to that person or a couple of the people that he has gotten songs from, for the reason that even it also comes from the artist, but then they started telling him he couldn't do that, and he's like, but I don't feel good because I didn't write that, and then I want to give respects to the person who did. And they say, well,
I've
you
never
can't.
heard of that. If somebody says that you couldn't give
Yeah.
respects to the writer, that's silly to me.
Well,
And I'm coming
when
from
you
a
buy
writer.
when you buy the rights to that song,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
it
the person
comes into some kind of
well, we won't go into
Oh, I see what you mean.
right.
I
we
know a
won't go into
story.
technicalities about that.
And
I know.
so
The
that's why
writer's still
some
the
of
writer. The
yeah,
writer's still the
some
writer.
I
Fact.
know,
That's
but
it.
that's where the technicality comes in, and that's where they get lost.
I
And
understand.
and so that's the only reason why I'm saying what I say, for the reason because hey, sometimes the singer gets out of his soapbox and does say, hey, this is a person, for the reason that he wants that person to get acknowledged, because
Right.
it is the person who writes the songs. Wow, they can bring it to the table, and it would be such an amazing, but also the singer that sings it brings it to the table as well. So everybody has a part of it, but the one that doesn't get really recognized is the writers.
Yeah, that's true.
You
But
know?
that's part of us doing our podcast, Jason and Brenda, where guess that's kind of our job to let
Yes.
people know what has been done, what they are doing. Have you, and maybe you'll be like, oh my God, I heard that song for forever. I didn't even realize, right? So I think that's part of our job as podcasters to kind of bring awareness to artists, to podcasts, to the viewers, and just kind of share the knowledge with anybody who might not know or wants to know. So I mean,
Right.
I think at the end of the day, as long as we're trying to do good, and we're trying to put all this music and artists and writers in a good light, I think we're good. Even though it's on TikTok and I don't understand TikTok, I have 5 accounts because I kept losing my password.
I know you were commenting that I guess you went on. I don't know who we had, and she's like, "Oh, oops, I'm
It's
in
me.
the."
Exactly. I don't even know. I was like, what am I? It's like, and even, ay, Diosito Santo, it becomes too complicated for me. It's too complicated. But
Yeah.
thank you guys for being the younger generation to have that outlet and have it more feasible for you guys to access, so that the younger generations who also feasibly access this platform can say, oh, I never heard that. Oh, I didn't know that, or whatever.
Mhm.
If if anything was learned or some nuance was awakened in them, then how awesome was that, and our job was done, right? So you all
Yeah.
are, yeah, that's what we inevitably try to do at the end of the day.
Especially, yeah, especially the new artists that are coming in, and they're young and they don't know the ins and outs. I mean, we're still learning ourselves, me and George. There's a lot of things that we know, and sometimes we ask Gigi, "Hey, is this right?" And she'll say, "Hold on, let me look for it." you know, that wisdom is sharing knowledge, and you gotta help one another, else you're never gonna revolve to be something great.
That's
If
right.
you're always gonna be somebody that always shadows somebody and doesn't help them out, then you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. When you collaborate, when you have people in your team that supports you and that you just multiply
Yeah.
Yes.
versus adding. Like we ourselves can add, but when you have people in your team that really genuinely support each other, then you multiply.
Yes.
And that's what
Better.
gets going back to the composers. I was going to say this. I don't know if it's because I'm one myself that I love lyrics, right? But every time there's a song out there that I say, this is such a good song, who wrote it? That's the very first thing I want to know. Like
Yeah.
who wrote it, who thought about it, who put these lyrics together, that they're the
Is this a
one
love
with.
story? Did this really happen to somebody?
Yes. Yes, but you guys are right. Composers don't get the recognition that they should. And that's one of the things that I was talking to Jason about, bringing more composers to the podcast, because I really genuinely believe that they're underlooked. They don't get the recognition like you guys were saying. But at the podcast that I was managing, we brought Miguel
Okay, wait.
Luna.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Brenda. You manage the podcast, like there's managers manage. I am the manager, janitor, dishwasher.
Well, I was
What's
all of
this
that, but I
business?
was not the host. So I got it. I was in charge of reaching out to the artist. I was reaching out and doing the agenda, putting the agenda together, like all of that, like kind of the administration of it. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Well, Norma does the important part. She does the important part and says, what are we doing? Have we done this? Have we
Yes.
done that? That's it.
Or let's get this
Let's
person
get so
on.
and so. Have we had so and so? And that, yeah, and they'll be like, oh, let's get to it. If you can
Hold on.
find them,
Put
I know.
put your makeup on. Let's go.
I'm not,
Get
I'm
on.
not
Let's go.
necessarily I'm not necessarily working with them, but I was able to get him Bobby Pulido last week.
Oh, sweet. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
so
such an
Bobby
awesome
Pulido
guy.
was there. I had a few calls with him, and but it's called Mero Valle Podcast, and that and
Oh yeah.
group.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
okay.
Grupo Mero Valle comes from. Oh, they're both
Are the
together.
ones down Bryan Road, verdad? Grupo Mero
we are
Valle.
we
Yes.
are in Alton. Uh-huh.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
very
I
very
actually
good
I was
group.
at one of their shows actually.
Oh, nice. Then I was probably
At their
there.
house. Yeah.
Okay, because I was managing that band
Oh,
for,
yeah.
yeah.
No, they're good. They're good.
Yes, very good,
Yeah,
very
Mero
good,
Valle.
very good,
Yeah.
very good, very good. So yeah, composers and all these people that really put the heart, to the song,
Yeah.
because the lyrics of the song is I love lyrics, so to me it's like, oh my God, how did he think of this? Like, it sounds so good, you
I
know.
I can listen
And
to my dad's songs like Quisiera Tener Alas, que de Ramón
yes,
Ayala. That's my dad's song. And Jardín Olvidado, I'll just be like, what was my dad thinking when he wrote that? Was it?
exactly,
I wonder if it was
exactly.
about my mom. But yeah, to me, I always wondered, was it? That wasn't my mom. Maybe it was my mom. I don't know.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Exactly.
But
And
yeah, those are
it's
things that you
really
do
amazing.
wonder. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
It's really amazing to hear the stories behind. So anyway, I was saying that in that podcast, I brought Miguel Luna. I was like, I want to get Miguel Luna. I want to get Miguel Luna because one of my all-time favorite songs is No Soy el Aire. So No Soy el Aire is based on a story of him and a girlfriend he had when he was young. And he writes for Yuridia, for Karin Leon. He writes for all these people. And I started looking for him and I said, hey, can you come to our podcast? And that day I was like, okay, guys, move out of the way. I want to talk to I wasn't the host, right? But that day I was there and I was listening and I was just taking in everything he was saying. So if you go listen to No Soy el Aire, it would be such an amazing thing if somebody would record this Tejano style. So anybody out there, No Soy el Aire talks about when you're separating from this person you love, and he says that this woman or this girl told him, oh, she was breaking up with him and said, I'm yo no soy el aire, like i'm not I'm not essential, like I'm not. So he
you don't
wrote
need
a
me to breathe.
song. Yes, like, you're gonna breathe, you're gonna be fine without me. And he wrote the song No Soy el Aire. Oh my God, you listen to the lyrics and
And
it's
I have
like,
to hear that.
yes,
It's
it's a good
interesting what
song.
you just said right now, and I know Norma's feeling the same thing. There's a big disconnect because I think you have a closer connection with Mexican music, maybe, and we're more connected with Tejano music. And there's a little gap there también. Like, you mentioned that song. I know who you said, Yuridia. Si conozco quién es Yuridia. You can say Marco Antonio Solis and stuff like that, like the bigger names. But if you go into like titles, settle down. I probably have heard it. We probably have heard it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
but if like just like right off the bat, I don't know what you're talking about. But that's one thing that we as podcasters can do, that we just connected right now. It's like, wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
So there's something that we all bring to the table that's
Hmm.
different, that's
Yeah.
unique, and makes us all unique. And that's why I don't understand when there's some people like, don't listen to them, or they pa qué. I always say, as a matter of fact, I put up my StreamYard. It's out right now. If y'all want it, go into StreamYard, do your own podcast, porque lo más que tenemos afuera, the more of us are out there, the more they cannot ignore us.
Yes.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. So everywhere, but somebody was saying, oh my God, there's like 2 or 3 new podcasts this week. I said, awesome.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
because that way people they'll be such will be inundate the market so much that they cannot ignore us anymore, and they'll have to say, oh, okay, oh yeah, or whatever, oh that's Tejano.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever happens, that they cannot ignore us anymore, like it has been since Selena died. I'm just have to say it, you know
Hmm.
Yeah.
so yeah, y'all are doing a great job. Listen, we're already going to an hour, and I've had a great time listening to you guys. Brenda, you as an artist, you're welcome to
Thank you.
do a do a promo for your releases.
I
Or
will
an
definitely do that.
interview. Or an interview.
As a, I hadn't thought of that. Well, we're interviewing her right now, but as an artist, we can interview you.
Right.
And
Yes, absolutely. I would
see,
love to
that's
come.
where Norma fits in. She's just like Gigi. You didn't even think about that. You didn't even say that. I was like, oh my God, Nina
Complement each
fits
other.
in.
You
Yeah.
know, I was gonna say something. You were saying about the bickering between, oh, don't listen to these and I think that comes a lot from the perspective of who speaks those things and who says those things. Like, I believe, one of the first things I told Jason, I don't like drama. I like to stay out of drama. I don't like to be, remember, Jason? I was like, I don't like to be involved in gossip. I don't like to talk about anybody. I don't like anybody to talk about, the people that I love. And, you
Yeah.
know, um, but I think it talks a lot about the healing, that you have in the inside of you. Like, we don't realize that what you have inside is what you give. And when you are, throwing envy and jealousy and all these toxic emotions, at the end of the day, it talks more about you than
Yeah.
the person you're talking about.
Yep.
Yep. That
Because
is true.
you are dealing with these things. I released my song in December, and I was telling Jason this the other day. I said, Jason, I've been really careful. Like, promoters have reached out and other people have reached out to want to come be part of my team, and I'm like, I'm being very careful. And the reason that I'm being very careful is because I do not believe that you should have people in your team that are bitter, that are
Mhm.
haters, that envy other people, because that will hinder the growth of the team in general,
Yes.
not just the artists, but in general.
Yes.
So I was telling him, I'm like walking on eggshells, just making sure, that I make the right moves, because I am such, I manage at one point 170 people. I know the complexity of working with humans,
Oh my God.
yeah. And at the end of the day, you want to surround yourself with people that are loyal, supportive, that, don't carry envy,
Yeah.
that they can recognize, like you and Norma, that can recognize, what, Norma's better at this, I'm better at this, and that's how we make it work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's people that refuse to accept that you don't have to be good at everything. There's other
You're perfect.
people.
It's
I
other
Yeah.
think
people.
I think it's personal. The person within
Yes,
them, they have to be secure about who they are.
that's right.
If they don't, and you're so right about it, you can be selective.
Mhm.
You can be selective. And that's the most important thing, because you can easily have your joy stolen, your peace
Mhm.
stolen in a heartbeat. And it and there's so much out there that it's so easy to, when you're doing something great for mankind,
Mhm.
people want to jump on that, and they
Mhm.
want to tear that person down, because why? They don't want to see a positive.
Right.
But that's a spirit that they carry.
Right.
Like you
Right.
said, they carry
Yes.
that spirit.
Right.
And you can be selective for that reason, because you're trying to protect your peace
Right.
and that good vibe that you're trying to give out so others can progress as well.
Right.
Um, there's a lot in that business that isn't that way.
Right.
And I think that's why people tear each other down, because
Mhm.
they forgot to be secure with
Yeah,
themselves.
and their
Yeah.
brother's keeper. At the end of the day, I I want to protect you like I want you to protect me. You
Yeah.
know, if I'm in a room and you're talking bad about me, I expect the people that work for me, that are loyal to me, to stand up for me, like I will do for you. If you're not in the room, I'm going to stand up for you.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree right there, because how many times can we be in a room? I'm gonna give you an example, because I had bad behavior. I could
Right.
say that.
Right.
Um, Me and Gigi have been through this.
Oh man.
You know that. And I a lot of times it's better just to walk away from that kind of situation and even have that person like don't feed into that because it's must how do they say it? You put more gasoline to the fire and it
Yeah.
Right.
lights up.
Right.
If you give that attention to that kind of life or kind of style or behavior, then you're just going to get burned.
Right.
So it's better to walk away. Let them talk because the people who see the people talk, they're like you said, they're seeing their
And
attitudes.
I read something the other day that said, um, you know, staying silent is still an answer. You know,
Yeah, it is.
like when things are happening and you stay silent about it, you're still answering, right?
Yes.
So
It's
yeah,
still
I
response. It's
totally
still
agree.
response. Yeah.
But
And
I
it's been more powerful, put it
right,
that way.
right,
Well,
Because
you're younger, Brenda. You're younger. We're older. Been there, done
Huh.
that. Like Norma said.
hey,
Like
I'm happy about my age. I'm 60 years old, so been around the tree so many times with
right,
bad behavior and
right.
choking myself like a little dog. Ay, me cuelgo aquí
Yeah, yeah,
you learn.
because
You
of
learn.
my attitude. But
right,
then I had to learn straighten your attitude. If you want
right.
good to happen, you have to be good.
Yes,
You can't
absolutely.
come at
Yeah,
people
you
with
reap what
all
you
this
sow.
like yeah. So
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
have to learn those kind of things and when you go around that tree and you're like I'm done with this, that's when people change,
Right, right, right.
you
Yeah,
know. But
yeah.
people go through heartache. They go through a lot of turmoils out there. They
Mm-hmm.
just don't
That's
know how
life.
to
That's
deal
life
with it.
itself. Yeah, that's just life itself.
Yeah.
I think in general, if just we want to live in peace, we
Yes.
want no drama. We want to, así como dices tú, you don't want any drama. And you can love people, some
Yes.
people close and some people from afar.
Right.
así,
Exactly.
Yeah.
así mero, así
Yeah.
mero.
Yeah.
And just don't, there's life is too short para andar con ese mugrero. It really, I'm on.
No.
That's just
Yeah.
life is too short para andar.
And I always tell, the people that I manage throughout the years and even the people that I encounter every day, it's like redirect that energy, redirect it to something positive, to
Yes.
create music,
Yeah.
to take the music to different levels, like redirect it, like don't waste that energy and put it where it needs to be. So I truly believe with all my heart that you got to surround yourself with the right people to so that we can grow,
So that we
because
can grow. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
can't grow on my own,
No, we all need to grow
Yeah.
together and
Exactly.
and be pushing each other up instead of pulling each other down.
Exactly. That's correct. I
But it
agree.
also starts with because like I said, education.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to, there's a lot of people that have been in this business that have been through so much turmoil that they don't know how to speak out for themselves
Correct.
or try to share the emotions that they do have, and it's going to be shown to other people in a different action. It's because they probably went through a lot of stuff and they just didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's when you show love. And I think
Right.
that's why, we were talking about this, me and you, Gigi. And I mean, I'm gonna be frank. Um,
I thought you were
when
normal.
we
Just kidding. Let's go.
when we go out, not everybody's gonna like us. Why? Hey, they don't even know us. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, and I have to think this way, and maybe it's my bad behavior. I don't know, but you don't pay my house. Hey, man, you don't pay my house. don't pay my rent. You don't feed me. You don't take care of me. I got a job. So hey, no, you want it's the kind of attitude. But then I have to stop and think, who am I fighting with? Why am I fighting with people that don't even know me, man?
Yeah. No,
So,
no.
and listening to Miguel, you remember last week when we were talking about with Miguel, like him, like he went through his stuff, and man, he went through the highs and lows, and he went through all the criticism, and he still had to brainwash himself and say, I don't want to be like that. I want to give people opportunities.
Yeah.
I want to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? You can get beat down so much to where you get tired and you say, no, let's turn this around. I'm going to give out the good of me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And some people have to get there. And when they haven't got
Yeah.
there yet, be patient, people. Be patient. They'll
Yeah,
one day.
everybody's in a different level on their journey.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
you
That
have
is
to
absolutely
respect it.
true.
You have to respect it. If they're being haters right now, maybe they haven't had something really in their face to make them realize,
Mhm.
hey,
Mhm.
what am I doing, or this isn't worth it, or whatever. I don't know
Right.
whatever that may be. I know where I'm 56. I'm in a journey where it's all that is noise, and I just rather not listen to it. If you are gonna be on my journey and you want to push me, and we're gonna go together, and we're doing something positive, and we're helping other people, dale
There.
pinchas. But if
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not, then get the hell out of the way
Right.
and you do you.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
You do
That's right.
you, because and your journey's your journey. Don't get in my way. Don't
Yes.
get in my way.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's it. And
Yeah.
I won't get in your way either. You know,
Right.
así nomás. But hopefully we try. There are some people that you just, and that's a human nature. You just have to love them from far away. Y así es. You're not gonna be able to do much with them. But maybe they're doing something on their journey. We don't know. Pero at the end of the day,
Mhm.
man, as listening to people and even paying attention to somebody saying anything, who let them, let them,
Mhm.
let them say whatever they want, porque al fin de cuentas, you're on your journey, you are who you are, and you know what your plans for your life are.
Yeah.
Y ya. Nobody knows how to accept you. They can't say that you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this however. No, they don't know. They don't know where you've been. They don't know where you're going. So how can they say anything?
Right.
We just do our journey, and that's it.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, we're gonna be at Fanfare this weekend.
All of
Woo-hoo!
us.
Brenda's already there. You with
Oh
that?
yeah,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
is there.
Y'all gonna be with the Latin podcast over there, Latin Legends, with the
Uh,
media?
I'm gonna see if I can make it out. I think I will.
All right.
You better start getting there.
Yeah, like yesterday.
Yes, totally.
Yeah,
Yesterday. Yeah.
like yesterday.
No, we're super excited, and Jason, I'm not into the the podcast world so much. I was more behind the scenes, but now that I've joined Jason, I totally admire the work he's put into it for all these years and this time, because it's not easy, like he said.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
Preaching to the
but
choir, man. Preaching to the choir.
yeah, and it takes a lot of effort because a lot of the times you just don't feel good that day.
Hey, I put on makeup today. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
I managed to put on some lipstick. Big deal. I
Yeah.
usually don't.
Right. And
Yeah.
yeah, kudos to Jason for everything he's accomplished
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time.
No, it's not
Yes.
easy. It's not easy to keep a podcast going, and especially now we're doing it more than once a week. Nosotros once a week we're like, oh, Norma. Like, oh my God, I don't have the link. I don't have to this, blah, blah, blah. And but that's okay, because what we're doing, we love.
Yes.
And what we're trying to do, we're gonna keep on trying to do it.
We're trying to break a cycle that has been in this business for a long time. And we want to bring back what the generation back then you say that they used to work together and they used to
Yeah.
collaborate together, where you could call your compadre, hey, can you play this horn for me in this song? And there was no, but was how much are you going to give me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, where's that camaraderie? You know, where's that teamwork? When you
But
know that that other person's trying to make it and doesn't have the funds to provide for them, to give them. I think the person who would want to provide for them, he wish he could. But if he's just starting out himself, why don't you give your coworker, your teammate, your compadre a little helping hand and push him to get
yeah.
somewhere? So no,
Yes.
he wouldn't be batallando.
Yeah, and that's
That's
how
the
we're doing
point.
it. We're doing it right now. You all did it with us when you interviewed us, Giras y Desveladas, and now
Yeah.
and now we're doing the same thing for Latin Legends podcast. We're doing, and
Yeah.
we've been on the Kid Leal show and the Three Amigos and the all these other shows, and that's how we get to where we want to be, and not for us,
Yeah. We're
not
on
for
a journey.
I
God
like,
only knows where we're gonna be at.
yeah.
Right.
We don't know.
Well, all we
God
can do
only
is
knows.
try. Well, all we can do is try and do our best, and that's it. So kudos to you guys for haciendo lo mismo and doing it well, doing it on TikTok, which is way too complicated for me. So thank you, Jason. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Brenda. Any parting words, Brenda?
Well, just thank you guys so much for everything you do. The talent that you guys bring. I love your chit chats, and you guys get so into the conversation, and I love the energy you guys have together. So congratulations to you guys, and
Oh,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much for making spaces, for people that love music and that want to put their little bitty part into this gigantic world of Tejano and music in the music industry in general. So just thank you so much for having us and make
Thank
us part of
you.
this.
Yes, no, thank you, thank
Yes.
you. And
Yeah.
Jason, parting words.
Yes, I just want to thank, y'all ladies for having us here. Like I said, I feel like the older artists, they don't get into TikTok, but we're out there, specifically made for them, especially if they're still putting out music. We push out their music.
Yeah.
I push it out to the DJs in San Antonio. And so a lot of them that have been to our show, they do send me their new stuff when it comes out, and boom, and it gets out to TikTok. So yeah, we also do that.
Very
Awesome.
cool. Very cool.
Very, very
So,
cool. Well, thank you. And how do when do you come out? How do people watch you?
you gotta
What
have
time does your
TikTok.
show start?
You gotta have TikTok
You
first of
gotta have
all.
TikTok first of all. Uh, Usually Tuesdays is our main day, so for sure Tuesdays and Thursdays. But lately we've been Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Oh my God.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
Tuesdays
we
and
we
Thursdays is
put our
our day.
flyers out there, so
Yeah,
stay connected in social media with us and with the podcast, and we're
yeah,
announcing who's coming to the show and stuff.
that's right.
Yep.
Well, y'all are young. So you still have energy for that.
Oh no,
Once a
I'm
week in the
old. I'm
Cateadas.
old.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Norma, parting words, ma'am.
Well, thank you for putting the sprinkles on our cake. Because,
Thank you.
without you all, we wouldn't be where we're at. And so we pass the baton to you all. So for the next generation as well.
Yeah, that is
Thank
You
exactly
you.
know?
correct.
Thank
I
you
want to
so
thank you
much,
guys
Norma.
again. I want to thank everybody again. I want to thank La Jefa Jamin Oldies for simulcasting us. A todos los troqueros out there, the 5K or 7K, he said now. Thank you so much for listening out there. Mucho cuidadito. To Sirius Tejano, thank you out there for simulcasting on as well. Of course, Roku channel with Tejano TV with the 5.5 million viewers. Thank you so much, todos. Everybody that comes into our shows. And if you don't come in live, then you come in later. We totally appreciate it because we're just trying to get get the word out there. We're trying to get these artists to be heard and for you to love their music like we love their music. And so this is part of it. Having podcasts on our show so that you can listen to them too and listen to more artists. That's how we grow, and that's how we want to inundate the market to the point where they cannot ignore us anymore. All right, so
Thank
saludos
you
a
so
todos
much.
again. God bless. Todos cuídense.
Many blessings.
And yes, many blessings. Safe travels, Norma. Safe travels.
Yes. Pray
Safe
for me
travels.
when I get on that plane.
Yes. Hopefully we run into each other.
Yes.
Oh, we
Yeah.
will. We
Yeah.
will. If
Yeah.
you guys are going to be at the gala, we'll be there.
Oh,
Yep.
We
yes.
will be
Okay.
there.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Y'all
Sounds
take
So
care.
good.
stop us down.
Yes,
Yes.
flag us down. We'll be like deer in headlights. I'll be deer in headlights. We'll see you guys. Everybody take care.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Take
Bye.
care.
La luz del troque aluzaba el camino, era de noche y estaba llovido. Qué noche tan fría. Y el motor iba acelerado, haciendo ritmo con el radio. Ya vamos llegando. La vida se me va a acabar de tanto manejar sin fin. La vida se me va a acabar de tanto manejar. Una muchacha que estaba en la parada se me acercó, quería que me la llevara. Casi era una niña. Oiga, mesera, sirva café caliente y no se tarde, que mi troca me espera para seguir la corriente. La vida se me va a acabar de tanto manejar sin fin. La vida se me va a acabar de tanto manejar. La luz del troque aluzaba el camino, era de noche y estaba llovido. Qué noche tan fría. Y el motor que iba acelerado hacía ritmo con el radio. Ya vamos llegando. La vida se me va a acabar de tanto manejar